You may know Tower Battles, a game released back before Tower Defense Simulator came into existence. But those two games get into a lot of controversy because those in Tower Battles think TDS copy TB, and in Tower Defense Simulator they call those accusations a BS. So, who's right and who's wrong? We need to first compare both games and see if it's true. Disclaimer, I highly discourage anyone from attacking any individual that is involved in drama between TDS and TB. Both games fall under the tower defense genre, so it's natural to expect some similar mechanics between them. But the question is, did TDS take it too far to the point where it's considered unlawful? Isn't TDS being unoriginal because they keep taking too many things from TB? It's quite ironic considering that TB itself isn't even original itself, and how TB executes its tower defense genre is pretty much generic and anyone is allowed to perform the same idea to execute their own tower defense game. What about towers and enemies? Some towers and enemies have similar name and mechanic from both game, and isn't that just infringing copyright? Not really. While yes, there are some of them being too similar, but it's not tangible media. Let's look at Mario and Sonic for example. No one can use them for profit, but why? Because it is an intellectual property. They are not like any other plumber or hedgehog, they have a role beyond what they are. Now how about a guy with a machine gun? Can anyone use it? Absolutely, because this is not an intellectual property. If you look at Team Fortress 2's character, Heavy, there's a reason why this character is an intellectual property, because there's unique personality beyond him using a machine gun. Just like Mario and Sonic. The drama is not completely unreasonable, it's just that TB community tends to complain about every single thing TDS added. For example, someone complaining about Lifeguard Commander copying TB's Lifeguard Commander. But here's the thing, Lifeguard is not a unique concept that someone just pull out from their creativity. And to prove that, I have this message from Skin Submission channel from TDS Discord showing someone making Lifeguard Commander before even TB released their Lifeguard Commander. This is what I mean by tangible media. You simply cannot ban other people from creating a character with similar role. In reality, TB fans are just complaining because the skin is for Commander, because if TDS does it on other tower, I don't think anyone would complain. And no, TB doesn't copy TDS Lifeguard because someone made it first. Like I said, it's not a unique concept. However, I did say the drama is not completely unreasonable. There's totally something that's reasonable. For example, DJ Booth being too similar to DJ from TB. While yes, there's some things in TDS that can be considered too similar, but most of them are remotely similar, and it makes TDS gameplay itself different from TB. So the problem is that TB fans sure do love being petty about TDS simply existing. I found this image showing what they think TDS copied, but oh boy, there's some inaccuracy here. You see how the person made this say at least change its color, and then you look at what they say about Mecha Base. I don't think giving it legs makes it original. Isn't that silly? I don't think changing its color is gonna make them any more happy. Which proves my point. There's nothing TDS do that will not raise TB fans' attention, and that's why there's no reason for the TDS developer to care about what TB fans has to say, because in the end they complain about the most smallest similarity anyways. Can TDS be held liable for copyright infringement? Well, actually, I think you know what my answer already is. If you didn't skip to this part, the answer will be no. I won't get too in-depth with the law here, because I'm not a lawyer myself. For something to be considered copyright infringement, we need to know if the content TB has are actually copyright protected. I've already mentioned that TB towers / enemies are not tangible media. They are not unique concept that can be set apart from any other character with similar roles. Which mean despite TDS having similarities to TB, it doesn't mean TDS can be held liable for simply having similar idea. To put it simply, you can't copyright an idea, however you may copyright the execution of the idea. This means TDS cannot be held for copyright infringement from TB. But of course, considering all of these factors, not everyone agrees with how the law is done, which is why some TB fans either don't understand how the law actually works or they simply dislike the copyright law, so instead they protest about it. But in the end, the world doesn't revolve around the one who disagree with the laws, so it pretty much sucks to suck if things don't go their way for them. Hooray, you reached the end. Did you? So to conclude this video, we learned that TB fans are just being petty about TDS existence, not that TDS actually infringed their copyright. From a law standpoint, TDS is not guilty of any copyright infringement. It's just that according to TB fans' morality standard, what TDS doing is bad. But then again, the world doesn't revolve around them, so they can't just expect that whatever they say is objectively right. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you find this video informative, and remember to always have independent thoughts.